Welcome back to Pentagrampwned, everybody. It's been a while since I uploaded anything to this channel, so I decided I was feeling kind of bored this evening and decided why not. So I don't know if this is going to work very well with me talking while I try to solve this puzzle, but I'm going to try. I've got, whatchamacallit, you're just going to see, well, you're going to hear a lot of pauses in the audio because that might be me trying to think through an algorithm for, this bad boy here. So just bear with, but I will be talking throughout the video. So if it takes me a couple of minutes or 30 seconds or I don't know, whatever, to get my train of thought back, I will get there eventually. I will be talking at least briefly about the, I don't know what the appropriate technical term is for it, the interstellar object Oumuamua. I might just get that out of the way real quickly because it's really kind of silly. I don't even know what you call the person whose job it is to study things like Oumuamua, but I'm not an astrophysicist, so I want to be careful here and not go outside my wheelhouse. But here's the thing about Oumuamua. For a long time, or really about me, but Oumuamua made me realize some things about myself, believe it or not. For a long time, I want to say better part of a decade, and I'm not the only person who suffers from this problem, I'm sure. I've been constantly nagged by this little itch that says, hey, there's something else I should be doing, something more important, whether that was with YouTube or anything. I just, no matter what I could possibly be doing or how successful I could be at it, I always felt like, hey, there's this other thing I should be doing, and I don't know what it is. And I would waste, I don't know if it was a waste, but I would spend a lot of time pondering that. And, I'm sure I've heard of people, professionals, artists, whoever, that have been plagued by this train of thought. So recently, within the last couple of days, I thought, okay, here's a preposterous idea. Somehow or other, the world's governments get together and decide we are putting together a crewed mission to Oumuamua. Now, for anybody who knows anything whatsoever about rocketry and the rocket equation and fuel costs and all that, that is laughable. But for the purposes of this discussion, let's just assume that we pull together and we build the equivalent of something damn near equivalent to an interstellar arc ship, and we get a group of astronauts together and we train and we're getting ready to put a mission together to fly out there to close the gap, get the speed going. This thing would probably have to be built on orbit. It would be so huge. And admittedly, from a scientific perspective, would be a gigantic waste of money. I'm not going to lie. It just costs. I don't know if gazillions is actually a real financial term, but yeah, it would be in the gazillions. I didn't even want to think about how much it would cost and all the other things that we would not be doing in place of this project. Okay, so we are building that thing and they're recruiting astronauts and I get selected for the mission because, I don't know, I'm friends with the right people, whatever. So I get to be on that flight, and I'm going to be the first people to chase down and, I don't know if you could land on the thing, but really fly out to it and take a sample and maybe plant some sort of a flag. I don't even know what kind of flag I would plant, but okay. And come home. In fact, let's assume the whole mission is flawless and everything goes according to whatever plan was in place. So, would that be good enough to eliminate that itch on my shoulders that I'm not doing something else that I should be doing? Is that important enough? Is that prestigious enough? Is that interesting enough? And the answer I came up with was no. And I couldn't even tell you why. There was no rational reason. And I just thought, I've obviously, I am obviously showing signs of real insanity. If flying to Oumuamua on a gigantic, overpriced spaceship and coming home and being lauded for that achievement is not good enough, then nothing I can think of is ever going to be good enough. And it's kind of sad. So that was a wake-up call for me. That happened after me lying in the bedroom while my girlfriend was making dinner, and I just said, yeah, that no project, nothing I could ever do is going to even come close to that fever dream of a space mission. So I thought, all right, what is, or what's the next step? Because this thought experiment I had with Oumuamua was the latest iteration of years of, wondering what else should I be doing? Like, should I start a second YouTube channel? Should I go into live streaming? Should I build model airplanes? I think I've got a video on the main channel where I was soliciting people for ideas, and there's no real reason for that. I mean, no good reason in hindsight. I've got plenty of ideas of my own. Not completely opposed to other people's input. I'm just saying there's plenty of ideas out there. Executing them in anything resembling an efficient fashion that these days does not involve selling yourself out to AI slop. That's tough, So I told myself, all right, first of all, just, while not completely ignoring that itch when it comes up, be careful about totally losing yourself to it and going for increasingly ridiculous ideas on what to do with your life and career and all that. And one of the first thoughts that came to mind was, I think I kind of want to do some live streaming. So anybody who's looked at the Pentagram Prime main channel will notice that in the last day or two, I did put up some very short live streams, and those were just, I'm talking and I'm losing track. But yeah, they would have noticed that I put up some live streams, and that was just me testing out my computer. I'd never done any gaming streams, and for good reason. I think I was warned by at least one person, hey, you don't have the equipment to do this properly. So I didn't. All right, I'm going to stop talking for a few minutes and continue typing on this. But I did do the gaming streams because what's probably going to happen is I'm going to be, if I have that itch to do something different, there's a good chance I'm going to do it on a live stream. I'd like to do gaming. I need a better computer. Also, there might be some ways where I could live stream me just attacking a problem for the first time. whereas what you see on the main channel is a result of months, if not in one case years, of me just like willy-nilly working on a problem in my spare time and then turning into a video. That could be fun. And this channel is still going to be overflow space for content that doesn't really fit on the main channel. I don't want to do Rubik's tutorials. I don't even want to bother editing. This is just me goofing off, you know. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen next. Just as an outlet for whatever is on my mind, there'll be live streaming. There's going to be this. I doubt there's going to be much properly edited content on Pentagrampwned because, like it or not, editing it sucks the life out of you, and it just takes forever. I mean, it's too bad, but that's video production, you know. So I'm going to stop talking and just go ahead and try to justify the memory I am putting in from my smartphone on recording this endeavor here. You might hear me occasionally mumble to myself, but hopefully nothing inappropriate for the YouTube terms of service agreement. You know how when you're driving and maybe you happen to be on like a hands-free headset and then you tell the person, hey, wait a second, because you can't think about how you're driving when you're talking. Yeah, that kind of feeling. I think I got the centerpieces. All right, we've reached my first algorithm. Let's see if I can do it while on camera. So I got to trade this piece in with this piece. Yay. All centerpieces are in. That was, I think it was 3LW prime, U prime, 2LW, U, RW, U prime, 2LW prime, or something like that. Anyways, moving on. Side pieces, got to get these out of the way. I really hope my camera does not shut down in the middle of this. Otherwise, I will be uploading this, but there's just going to have to be a second clip that I'm going to upload, which would suck, but I would do it. Believe it or not, my elbow is hurting from resting on the table the wrong way, so yeah, get something to cushion me. And moving on. By the way, I have a ton of unuploaded skiing content that I could probably throw up here. just because why not? YouTube wants content. I don't mind putting stuff on. Is it going to compete with AI generated slap content? I don't know, but I went to the trouble of sending myself down a mountain a bunch of times this past winter. I won't be doing it this winter because I did not purchase my pass. Not that I could not purchase my pass. I wanted to purchase a pass. Well, I thought I was going to be busy with other things, and those things never came to be. So I gave up skiing for all the wrong reasons, and I have vowed that this coming spring, when the discount period gets started, so that you can get your pass at a decent price. I don't care what my status is, or what my plans are, or what other people's plans are. I will purchase that pass and live on the streets if I have to. I am going skiing at all costs. And I don't think the cost is going to be very high anyway, so it should be okay. All right, so I'm just slowly putting these pieces, these side pieces together. And here's my, okay. Yeah, but you really would think that flying to Oumuamua, I mean, the few realistic options I've seen for sending a probe there, like a sample return mission, something robotic, just illustrate how difficult that would be. And if first of all, becoming an astronaut, and second, getting to be on that crewed mission and succeeding isn't good enough, then it becomes like a Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie where he, I think one of the movies was called The World Is Not Enough. I don't know, it's textbook megalomania. Somebody can go ahead and look up a DSM-5 for me. I'm not going to do it, but it was time to be more realistic. So I think if I want to build a better mousetrap and I have the time to do it, which I probably don't, but I'm just saying, if for argument's sake I did, the video of that will probably end up on this channel, and the live stream of that will end up on Pentagram Prime under the live section. But I did spend a lot of time. I thought about trying to do like a dedicated, I was going to do dedicated, KSP content. And I've already done some KSP videos, but I was always troubled by the question, is that good enough for you? And it never was. And I think I may have lost years chasing that idea of what is the ultimate thing? What's what would make me happy? And it almost in some ways becomes like every rom-com I've ever seen or heard of about somebody trying to find the one. And that, well, I don't want you going ahead and getting into a relationship with somebody you don't belong with, but I also cringe at the idea of what's realistic versus not, because then people might do unhealthy things to compromise their standards. But the notion of finding the perfect person is a little weird to me, because people are just imperfect, present company definitely included. And no project's ever going to be perfect, as much as I'd like it to be. No project's ever gonna completely fulfill. So time to do the best I can with the tools that I have. For tonight, I am making my first video where I solve my 5x5x5 puzzle. Oops, Thumbs not go. So, is it a perfectly edited video? Is the lighting even perfect? No, I'm using a mathematics t-shirt that was donated by some people who know that I love math, and that's going to be good enough before I go to bed. So, good news, I solved another problem today. It was one that was giving me a little bit of trouble. Am I going to turn it into content? I don't know. I want to try to maintain a certain ratio of problems I've solved versus putting up every single problem on the channel or even on a website that I have yet to put together. Yeah, I was going to be putting up some PDF documents of stuff I've solved, but turning every single problem into content could actually be more work than it's really worth. I think what's going to happen is there might be a ratio that I'll like, for every one I put on the internet, maybe I'll try to solve 10 others. Because I was going to start publishing my raw notes, and I was just so, well, this might get back to the whole issue of perfection, but really, when I'm putting out notes on a problem, even if it's just a PDF, forget about, videos, I want the information to be easy to read and not have anything misleading, because, people might lean on this. I got to be careful. It's a little bit like how I don't like it when people are not doctors or don't have any respect for, basic scientific literacy. Start talking about things like, vaccines being evil and all this. I try to consider the consequences of my actions. So, I gotta stop talking for a minute because I will be here all night and my phone will run out of memory before I have the ability to finish this thing. And I'm not doing any video editing tonight, so just gonna get this thing properly solved and uploaded. Might have fun doing this on a live stream sometime. But as I said, not tonight. Okay, I've reached my last two broken sides. So the other ones here, let's see if I can demonstrate all the other sides are, all right, they're all together, more or less. So, what do I normally do here? Split, turn around to the right, and then it's RU, R prime, face, R prime, face prime, R, reverse the split. Cool beans, we got double parity. Going to use the parity algorithm, solve these sides. There probably is a quicker way to solve these sides without using the parity algorithm twice. But I mean, I've got a lot of puzzles, and I usually just go with what's the easiest way to memorize it. I'm not trying to speed solve these. So, yeah, this is when you know you're hardcore if you can do this from memory. So here we go. RW U2 RW U2. Always nervous going into that last term, the last maneuver. But yep, that side is solid, and this side's next. So here we go again. Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. Almost messed up. I think I turned the wrong way, but it's back. It's all in one piece. So. Cool beans, we're there. So now this is mathematically, this is now a standard 3x3 cube. And the only thing I have to worry about is my camera running out before I solve it. So those of you familiar, you know, you start with a daisy. Oops, I reversed the daisy. All right, let's see. Daisy, so let's see. All right, gotta do the corners. What's really important at this point is do not break the side pieces, because that's majorly going to set you back. At this point, it is just a 3x3 cube, and if you want to keep it that way, don't break the side pieces. All right, so I'm going to put this piece sideways. Oh, I think I made a mistake. Oopsies. All right. But yeah, as bad as you could mess up a 3x3, turning it back into a 5x5 puzzle, that's not fun. That's demoralizing to recover from. So, let's see. I made a ski video this past winter, and one of the comments I got about the video was when I was talking about how I was trying to consider the lighting as I was skiing. And, you know, at least one person said they couldn't imagine, they'd be so focused just on not dying skiing, let alone, you know, how do you worry about the skiing, you know. But I tried to learn how to multitask. So right, we're past the 30-minute point and my phone is not reset, so I'm just happy about that because I was looking into the settings and wondering if it was going to force me to end the video, so glad that didn't happen. Yeah. All right, lower portion is done. Let's see. Okay, so now okay, I got these two lined up, these two side sections. So now let's get all the side sections lined up. Okay, side pieces are lined up. I'm going to start with this corner piece right here. Home stretch. Matches, matches, matches. Okay, so this is the moment of truth for people doing a 3x3. You got to get these pieces in the right orientation. So I will try not to mess up all this work. Been a long time coming. Drum roll, please. All right. Yeah, so that's about all that's on my mind. Glad I'm still able to solve this thing. And there'll be more to come. Till next time, this is Pentagrampwned signing off.